All right, something else that affects millions of students and families across the country around this time, scholarship scams. Juliana, with college costs roaring and soaring, students desperately seeking financial aid. I mean, what kind of scams are we talking about here? Because they've become widespread as well.
Yeah, so there's a couple different versions of what we're seeing with college students, and we have received reports nationwide in regards to these particular scams. So the first sort of angle is going to be a scammer reaches out to you and says, hey, you've won this scholarship grant, you've won this scholarship or you've won this grant, and all you have to do is pay this processing fee, if you will. Most of the time, people haven't actually applied for whatever the scammer is claiming that they've won, and then the second you send any type of a processing fee, you're obviously never going to see that money again, but also now they have more of your contact information, which can be scary.
Why now do scammers target this particular time on scholarship scams?
Because obviously, we've got lots of students that just graduated. They're trying to do their research before they go to college in the fall to see, what kind of help can I get. So that's the other thing too, right? You have students that are looking for financial aid and assistance. They should never have to pay to apply for a scholarship or to apply for a grant, because that seems a little bit backwards, right? They're looking for financial assistance. Why should they have to pay for that? So another version that we see is where the scammers reach out and they actually encourage you to apply for said scholarships or grants, but then they also say you have an application fee. So as I mentioned, you shouldn't have to have an application fee. You should be able to apply for these things for free, and you can do it on your own. You don't need a company to help you find scholarships or grants to apply for. You can do this research on your own. Your family can help you. Lean into your guidance counselors and those resources. They oftentimes have a little bit more knowledge and connections in regards to scholarships and grants, because they're obviously helping students every single year do these things. And so the third type of scam that we've sort of seen with this is where a check just sort of appears and says, hey, you got this scholarship, you got this grant, here's a check for it. However, once you deposit it, we do need you to send back X amount of dollars for fees or taxes or what have you. And so, you go to deposit this check if you feel like it's legitimate, and then you send the funds in regards to whatever taxes or fees they're asking for, which also is a little bit backwards. It's always a red flag. Yeah. But what happens, and I think oftentimes people don't really understand, check processing can be extremely confusing. So if you go to the bank, you deposit the check, they may say it's quote unquote cleared, and so now you can kind of access those funds, but then it could take up to a couple weeks for them to realize that's a fraudulent check and you are going to be on the hook for those funds.
Oh, that just sounds like a nightmare. You haven't even begun school yet.
Yeah.
I mean, and speak to the emotional toll that this takes too, right?
Well, it's unfortunate because you have a lot of students, they're so excited to go to college. They're, on their own for the first time. They're really looking forward to it. And then they get taken advantage of. They lose money. They're scammed. Now they're afraid because they've lost money and they've lost their financial information. And so it can be really taxing, not only on the student, but also on their families. I mean, a lot of times, it's not just the student looking for that support, it's the families as well. And so we just want to make sure that people are armed with tools and ways to identify when things are probably not legitimate. I mean, of course, we all want to get checks in the mail, right?
Right. But if it's unexpected, then,
of course.
Too good to be true, like you said, right?
Exactly.
So what questions should students ask then if they receive something that looks legitimate from an agency or an unexpected check?
Do the research, look it up, check out the company, see if, type in the company name, see if they're scams, what are the reviews. Hey, I almost feel like with a lot of websites anymore, like a Reddit and things like that, there's so many forums where people say, hey, I specifically got XYZ in the mail. Is this legit? Is it not? And you should be able, and just doing some searches there to see what's actually real and what's not.
Yeah, I mean, and students, they're going to be so savvy. They're researching and checking all that out anyway online.
And again, lead into those guidance counselors. They can tell you, they see a lot of that too. Like I said, they help people every single year. So lean into the resources you have available to you.
All right, very good. Any other advice you want to give students?
Trust your gut always.
That's right.
If it's too good to be true, it probably is. And I know we don't like to think that, especially when we're, 18 and we think we know everything. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's when we go #adulting.
Yes.
Welcome to the world of adulting. Watch yourself. All right, happy shopping and all the like. Carlene, too. Enjoy.
I will have a great time.
You'll have a good time.
I'll have a good time.
And happy belated birthday, Juliana.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming in. Always appreciate the good info as we are checking things out and preparing for the summer. And letting you become aware, so you're not asking where's the money.